right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're here. We're live. We're taking your questions. Get them in the chat wherever it shows up on your screen. I'm going to try to answer it. Super chats, spin of the wheel. Got some prizes up in the mix as well as stickers as always. Going to talk about a few different things as well when we get a few more people in here. But right now, the big thing is I know people are going to be asking about reservations and Vail Resorts. They did announce their reservation system, the virtual waiting room. So basically, you have to wait online to get your ticket to go stand in line to wait to get up the hill. Is happening. They claim Keystone's opening tomorrow. I drove by yesterday. It's a fucking mud pit in the base area at River Run. Like, I don't foresee them actually opening top to bottom like they claim that they are. So there is that going on. A Basin and Loveland did not open. There's some storms out west. I know Europe. I know you guys are kind of getting fucked in the ass right now and things are closing down. That's why people need to wear their masks, stay home, stay away from people, stop spitting in each other's mouths, stop promoting fucking snowboard vloggers that are traveling all over Europe telling you that it's okay during a pandemic to fucking travel. Fucking douche nozzles. So, yeah. I dropped something. So anyways, yeah, so there's that. But I want to answer you guys' gear questions. Also, a ton of new top fives coming out. Hopefully you guys caught yesterday's top 5 all-mountain freestyle boards for 2021. Today we did the women's all-mountain freestyle boards for 2021. Dropped that about 2 hours ago. I just got a ton of friggin' top 5 lists in here. Like, so many of them. I think I got about 10, 15 pages still going through fine-tuning stuff, but you're going to basically get one like every day or 2 a day for the foreseeable future while I work on some stuff. So got that. Went snowboarding last Friday at Wolf Creek, so that was fun. It was good to just get out. Real interesting to go to a little resort like that and just see how they did everything. Bought the ticket online. Went up to the ticket window, just showed him my ID, printed it out on the chairlift. Only had to ride the chairlift once with one rando, and it was a 4-pack, and he was on the other side. And, of course, he proceeded to try to talk at me. Fucker in his goddamn stupid-ass Never Summer and fucking saggy-ass goggles and gap in his helmet, trying to tell me there's a lot of snow. Well, no shit, there's a lot of snow. It fucking snowed 24 inches, dude. That's, so, yeah, anyways. But going to try to take your guys' questions. Also, kind of really pissed that Kevin from Snowboard Pro Camp, once again, trying to poach the time slot that I do my fucking live streams. Like, I've always tried to make it so that they don't overlap each other, but there he is. So I may just pop on theirs and start answering their questions in here because I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't. I'm over it. So, yeah. Also, want to talk to you guys about something really cool. So, Dean from the Splitboard Shop out in Utah, out by Ogden, Utah, up by Powder Mountain, is a distributor for a couple brands, and he was able to actually send me some stuff. So one of the brands that I've really wanted to ride for years, West Snowboards. So got about 5 boards from those guys to test out. And then I'm going to butcher the name on this. It's Cafel or whatever. It's Andreas Vig's company. But yeah, so got some of those to test out, and then I've had 2 people in the last year ask me about Furberg. So gonna ride some of those too as well. So we got that, and I got 3 Karuas on the way. They will be here Friday afternoon. So I've got a tranny finder, a dart, and an auto on the way for review. So look for those. There will be a new Endeavor Archetype review coming out soon as well. Yeah, just trying to do it, but hopefully by next week, the resorts around here will start to open. If anyone follows local things, we've gone back to a phase 4 restriction, which means safer at home, 25% occupancy in stores and restaurants. But our county commissioner actually came out and she said this does not affect the resorts. Breckenridge and Keystone are still trying to get their state approval for health guidelines, but A Basin, Copper, and Loveland are cleared to go. So it's just a matter of snow, but it's been ungodly warm and we haven't made any snow. Yeah, so DJ Nearest, is there a way to turn down the sound of the spin wheel? Thank you. Yeah, you hit mute when I spin it. There you go. What do you want? So you get a spin. All right. Next question gets a spin. Well, that thing locked up hard. I think I got to lube that bearing up or something. All right. Okay, what do we got here? Next question. Ahmed Ali, similar board to the Razi After Hours, maybe by K2, maybe the K2 87. The 87 would be the closest one that they made in the last few years to the Rosnell After Hours, but they don't make it anymore. So you're going to have to find an older one, which you can usually find those around. I think the last time I saw one for sale was like $230 online. So if you really hunt around, otherwise similar to it. The problem is the shaping on that is so unique, and it's a women's board that needs to be made into men's. But Super Pig is kind of there, but it's a little stiffer. The backslash is kind of there, but still, once again, just a little bit stiffer. But once again, that wasn't designed with a female rider in mind. Those would be kind of the two I'd look at. So, all right. All right. Well, there you go, Ahmed. You won a small sticker pack. So make sure you email me, info@angrysnowboarder, with your address, and I will get that in the mail. For anyone that's won last week's stuff, I haven't shipped anything out. I've just been incredibly busy dealing with a few things in life. So, man, this thing's being all fucky today. Gotta lube that bearing up at some point. But, yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see. All right, where were we? Okay, Patrick. Interested to hear how Wolf Creek was last week. I'm thinking about going on Sunday or Monday. Supposed to get multiple feet. Yeah, so they're supposed to get up to about 3 feet this weekend. I'm actually going down on Sunday, and I might go back down on Monday because I got a bunch of powder boards I need to ride. The coverage, it wasn't like full white ribbon of death preseason. It was more like early April, mid-April slush chunder. It was bony in spots. If you picked your line, you were probably fine. If you made a shit mistake, you were hitting rocks. I watched plenty of people go over rocks. Overall, coverage was very, very decent. So, yeah. Let's see. So we got one from J-Raz. Super Chat. Are you still doing Ride with Angry this year? I don't know if I'm allowed to be near anyone anymore. Like 6 feet. So, if it does happen, if there is the Ride with Angry thing, that would probably be late spring. I want to see where we're at after the vaccines and stuff roll out. Fuck you, telemarketer. Yeah, so see where the vaccines are and whatnot, and see how we're doing as a whole collectively. I think this season's kind of a fucking wash for any ideas that any of us had of what we were going to do. So, yeah, there's that. But the second I can start doing a Ride with Angry thing, I'm going to try to make that happen. Ooh, reverse spin again. Ooh, middle finger. Okay, Horatio Nachito. Board for 170-pound rider, free ride oriented. I was thinking the Tellus DST 58 or the Capita Black Snowboard to Death 59. And are those sizes too big? Thanks again. Now, if you're going for free ride, those are actually like the ideal sizes for that weight. That's right where I would put you. Each has its pros and cons. I think the Tellus DST is the better carving board. When it is on edge, it holds better and it has a more smooth ride to it that's more consistent. But the Black Snowboard of Death is the better overall ride to it. It still grips exceptionally well. It's just a little more lively, which gives you a little more pop into it, in my opinion. On top of the fact the core profiling in the B-Sod is a little bit thicker, which provides a damper ride, which will be a smoother ride. But both of those, you really couldn't go wrong. It's just going to come down to what you can get the better deal on. And speaking of deals, just so everyone knows, there's been starts of shortages of certain gear happening. People are buying a lot this year. So if you see something and you like it and you're like, I'm going to wait, I wouldn't wait. I just, like, if you see it, fucking buy it. Your local shop has it, buy it. If you're buying online and you're clicking through our affiliate, buy it. Basically, you see it, you want it, you have the money, it's not going to make you broke, buy it. But let's give you a spin of the Yeah, a small sticker pack for you, sir. Congratulations. Which I just ordered some new stickers today for everyone. So those will arrive next Friday on the 13th. But let's see if I can dig this up. Show you guys what we're working with here. Yeah, so in honor of Resort's opening, we made a parody, and I voted, but I shredded sticker, and I actually made pins up too that will randomly be given away as prizes for you guys as well. And I know there's one more person that he did a super chat at the before we were even live from Letters More. Can't make it live today, but let's see if we can get some good Stoke on that wheel right away. So we're gonna give him a spin. See where we're at. And he gets a spin again. All right, next question gets a spin of the wheel. So let's see, where were we? Dive. Is it me or have all the brands I grew up on disappeared? Air Blaster? What the fuck is that? You sound old, like really old, and like you don't pay attention to what's going on in snowboarding. Yes, brands are constantly disappearing and new ones are taking their place. Air Blaster's been around for 10, 15 years now, something like that, somewhere in there. So, yes, you're old. And there's a lot of great brands. There's also a ton of really shit brands, which I'm going to read you guys a funny-ass email that I got from someone trying to hawk shitty-ass companies. So, yeah. Fire cures everything, including old age. So if you need to self-immolate, go do it. Richard Medico, hey Avran, what's the most stupid thing you've heard come out of somebody's mouth this week? I'm reading you these fucking emails. This is literally the fucking oh my god, where is he? So I got an email from the email is titled Cheap Snow Gear, like that's the name of the person. But I'm gonna read you this fucking email chain because this is the stupid that I've been dealing with this week. Hey man, I just watched your Jones Mountain Twin 2020 review. I was actually looking to buy the Mountain Twin 3 or 4 years back and ended up going for the Battalion Evil Twin, which I love and have shredded loads in Japan and Canada, I think he means Canada. The guy's fucking illiterate. Over those recent years. Anywho, not sure how I ended up looking at Jones reviews and onto your site. It happens, haha. The 2020 Jones is not the same as the 2016 Jones Mountain Twin. They're two fucking different boards. Who cares what you were looking at 4 years ago? At the same time, I built up and set up my own Snow Ear site. Snow Ear. I think he means gear, but he spelled it ear. This is 3 years back and still trying to get it pumping. Would you be at all interested in posting an article I write for you with a link, all one word, a link, back to my snow gear site, cheapsnowgear.com. It would be super helpful indeed. Please let me know, man. This site is a one-man show. Me, I'm not some agent or agency working for a client. I don't give a fuck who you're working for, but when you go to the website, it's like Kopaz goggles and knockoff outerwear with single-stitch seams and 500 to 1,000 rated bullshit. It's fucking garbage. So I respond back because, I'm an asshole. I was like, fuck no. You promote knockoff brands that hurt snowboarding, and I will never promote, endorse, or help anyone that is actively destroying snowboarding or its culture. And here we go. Wow, you really are the Angry Snowboarder. Wow, the fucking email address is at angrysnowboarder.com. Are you fucking retarded? No, we do not promote brands that hurt snowboarding. Yes, you do. You fucking sell shit knockoff crap. Crap. They don't get back to snowboarding, you fucking retard. We offer snowboarding gear with free shipping. Acros. He doesn't even spell across right. Acros the world at accessible prices for people who are often living in areas without shops or mountains and will go somewhere to try for the first time. They could rent. I'm just saying. Think about it. Isn't it better that people then are able to try and get into the sport? Newbies or a family from India aren't going to drop $400 on the latest Burton jacket. Burton sells price point stuff under $200. You can buy last year's for 50 to 80% off if you know where to look. Don't you think it's better that we are helping more people actually get into snowboarding rather than keep it as an elitist sport only for those that have tons of cash to spend on all the high-priced brands? In actual fact, the high-end brands will make their gear in the same factories in China and Vietnam as all the stuff we sell, and there's no difference in quality or how it performs. But as you know, most people are suckers to the marketing and everything. Your jackets literally stop below my fucking nipples and they call it an extra large. You're sizing so fucking off on this shit, you fucking kook. A Burton jacket doesn't cost any more to make in a factory than any jacket we sell. But of course, they have blown hundreds of thousands in marketing, movies, magazines, so the buyer then pays the cost just to have the logo on it. So calm down, mate, before you go spouting off and actually have a think first in future. All the best. Best regards, Snow Gear Team. You suck dicks with your butthole, you fucking ass pirate. That's what you are. You're a fucking ass pirate trying to rape snowboarding up the ass. Your fucking bullshit stuff. I'm sorry, but when someone actually designs it and doesn't just go to a catalog and go, here, let's do this. Oh, but let's save 50 cents per unit by cutting down from triple stitch seam to a double stitch seam. Oh, but we're not going to do a reverse tuck seam. We're just going to do a straight on seam. Oh, seam seal? Nah, we don't need it. Insulation? Ah, fuck it, you fucking kook. And so this continues. I was like, you are a fucking moron. You sell knockoff Alibaba shit. I've done enough PLM, brand management, gear design, etc., to know more than you about gear. The fact you even emailed me trying to get a backlink so you'll raise your Google ranking tells me how much of a shit company you are. Your written English is fucking atrocious. Learn how to form competent sentences and spell words right, and maybe I would take you seriously. You aren't a fucking snowboarder. You're not even someone who snowboards. You're just a fucking piece of shit, cheap shill. There's a drastic difference in a Kopaz goggle over an Oakley Dragon, Anon Spy, Ashburg, etc., There's a big difference between some cheap single-stitch seam with a $500K waterproof jacket versus a double reverse stitch, triple seamed $5,000K jacket. But you wouldn't know that because you've never actually designed anything for yourself or sourced actual products. You're a poser fuck and everything that's wrong with snowboarding. Get the fuck out of here because you'll never get support from someone like me or have access to my audience. I guarantee I've moved more product in the middle of a pandemic than you've moved since you started your little crap site. Of course he has to come back with another retort. LOL, you are a very angry man. It's a shame. FYI, I'm a snowboarder of multiple seasons in Whistler, New Zealand, and Hokkaido, etc. And as a snowboarder and qualified instructor. Ooh, got an instructor here, people. I have tested a load of stuff we sell, and it is quality and performs as good as the name brands, as I already said. I'm not trying to convince you or sell to you, just giving you my honest feedback. No, you are. You're fucking, you want me to work with you because I have something you don't have, which is an audience because I built it on honesty, you dumb motherfucking troglodyte. And I was like, so the final response, because I've had enough of this, you must be a genius to realize that I'm angry. You're a poser kook and you don't even realize it. Your product is crap. It takes from legit snowboard brands and hurts snowboarding. Drink bleach and die, although you might not be smart enough to figure out the safety cap. You and people like you are the absolute worst. This is the stupid I've been dealing with all week. I can't wait to tell you about the guy that decided he needed a refund from the personal shopper experience because he was a fucking time vampire. Oh, I can't wait to go into this one. This is a fucking goddamn fucking heathen-ass troglodytes. Ugh. So anyways, these emails are from a company called Cheap Snow Gear or Cheap Surf Gear. It's all knockoff, generic Alibaba dropship stuff. His whole site just dropships it. Shit, it is not quality. It is nothing good. I've seen this stuff in person. When they've come through the trade show, I've looked at it. Yes, it is similar factories or old factories where outerwear from mainstream brands were made, but they don't have the QC. They don't care because they're like, they make it and ship it. It's just like, phew, gone. There it is. They're not going to deal with Joe Blow fucking all the way across the world that's going to want a refund with it. It just doesn't happen. So anyways, This is the level of stupid that I've been fucking dealing with here. And shout out to Jack Ripper with the $6.66 satanic super chat. Satan doesn't like kooks. Don't be one. Next question gets a spin. So, yeah. All right, where were we? Ooh. Okay, Andy Much. Yo, POW-focused resort freeride board for exploring Whistler side country, more into mellow angle and trees than steeps, but would like to ride it all. Thoughts? Yes. Number one choice. Endeavor Archetype Swallowtail. If you're scared of the Swallowtail, get the Maverick. It's a solid tail. Can't go wrong with that either. That would be my number one choice. It's not a stiff flexing board. It's actually very playful. You'll be able to get in and do what you need with it where you want. Number two, check out the Capita Party Shark. Limited release this year, so if you see it, you want it, get it. That thing killed it when it came out years ago. They brought it back for the 20th anniversary of Capita. That thing is solid as well. It's not an overwhelming POW board. And then I'm going to throw in, what am I thinking here? We need something. I'm trying to think. There's so many great boards that I could recommend to you. We're going to throw the Nidecker Mosquito in there. A little shorter, wider, slight swallowtail. You can rip a carve with it. It's not overbearing with its flex. It's got a decent amount of torsional flex. So there's three options for you, Andy, and you get a spin of the wheel. Unfortunately, you got the middle finger. All right. Okay. Okay, where were we? Okay, Matthew Bowley. Bought my first board and set of bindings recently after doing Reynolds forever. GNU anti-gravity and flow fused GTs. Do I need to detune or anything before going on my first ride with it? Detuning is personal preference. I actually have a video on how to detune if you need to watch that. Just take your finger and rub it on the edges. If you feel like it's too sharp, grab your file, go to town. Yeah, I have tools everywhere. I have tools everywhere. I have real tools, and then I have tools asking me questions that are fucking stupid, which is a good segue into this fucking ass clown that wanted his money back from the personal shopper. So first off, this guy starts leaving comments on multiple reviews, just multiple. So I'm like, okay, I'll try to answer him. But I was like, I know where this is going to go. This is analysis paralysis through the thing. So I see he's asking about everything. Also, this guy is an instructor. That is very key to this thing. He's an instructor, and he's trying to get deals on stuff. So he doesn't support snowboarding, so like fuck him. But yeah, so he was asking about the Burton flight attendant, then it was the Burton Camel 2, then the the Battalion Camel 2, Battalion Camel Toe. I recommended him the Thunder, which he lost his shit on that. Then it ended up on Endeavor, and then at one point I think we were looking at it's either Ride or K2. But at one point he would ask a question, and I'd be like, "Yeah, this is what you're looking for," and suddenly it would be like on a different review, similar question. Well, what about this one? And then it was this one. So from one question, it went to 3 questions, which went to 6 questions, which went to 27 questions. So finally, I just sent him the link. I put the link for the personal shopper, and I was like, you're a handholder time vampire. $50 option. I'll answer all your questions. Does he buy the $50 option, people? Does he? I put that there for people like him because I know how much time it's going to take. He does not. He buys the $10 option, and I was about to refund him. I was. Before all this, I was like, I should refund him. But against my better judgment, he asked a bunch of bullshit questions, and I was like, look, man, to end everything, because you have analysis paralysis, buy the Endeavor Scout. That's going to be everything you want. Like, he claims that 160 inches of snow is deep-ass powder, and he needs a powder board for it. I was like, dude, you can fucking ride anything. You get 160 inches a year. I'm pretty sure, like, any real area that gets 160 inches a year, like, you can ride anything for it. Plus, you're in Eastern Ontario. Like, what are you doing? Going to Tremblant maybe once, twice? probably up at Mount St. Louis Moonstone riding. So anyways, I just tell him, and I was like, yo, this is all you need. He comes back with, this is a really unprofessional service. I expect you, and I paid for this service, to tell me what I need to hear. That's basically what he said. Like, no uncertain terms was, I expect you to pay me because this option guarantees that I get between 3 and 8 emails. And I was like, yeah, and I can answer it in 1. Buy this board, shut up, and go fucking ride. That's all you need to hear. Like, you're a fucking putz, dude. You're a hand holder. So this is going on. So he's like, I'm going to contact my credit card company and demand a refund. I was like, okay. He's like, you didn't provide me with the services I paid for. And I was like, actually, I did. And I screenshotted it and did everything. And I was like, I have screenshots, everything. I was like, go ahead, refund it. I was like, out of the couple hundred people that have used this, you're the first one to ever complain. I'm telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Well, I want to hear this. And I was like, no, I'm telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So this is going back and forth. And then he sends me an email. He's like, well, just refund me $5. You basically gave me this option. I was like, no, you paid. I've done this. You're sucking up my time. And I explained it to him, and I was like, I have everything laid out. So then the final email I got, which got flagged by spam, actually, which was fucking hilarious. Where is it? Where did it go? It's in here somewhere. If you just cooperated from the start, it would be easier. You would have known in one more message that the board I'm looking at is sold out, and this is why I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and you need to be doing this. He's like, you pointed me to a service. YouTube has nothing to do with this. I pointed you to a service because I was trying to stop you from leaving 5,000 fucking questions. I was like, you got a free service. I answer every question, right? So you get your free service. So then I do the live streams and I answer more questions. Like, this is free. If you went to a shop and you didn't buy anything from them, they'd be really pissed because they're wasting time that they could be helping someone. I answer everything, right? Like, I'm a drug dealer. I just get the first hit's free, you know? And then the second, and then the third, and probably even the 50th. Like, the option is there. Like, you choose the option. I said, hey, maybe you should do this. So anyways, he's going on, and he's like, all you could have done is answered me straight. Why didn't you give me a straight answer? I can't believe this is what we're talking about. I gave you the fucking answer you needed to hear, not the answer you wanted to hear. It even says on the thing that you might not like the advice you get. Now, I find it funny that one person out of a couple hundred is complaining about this. I don't even give a shit anymore. I'm like, I'm done with you. You're a fucking time vampire. He even admitted he was a time vampire handholder. Like, fucking mind-blowing, to say the least, that you can't comprehend what someone's telling you. Like, I get it. Hey, do I want to hear that I might have to drop $1,000 into my car because the PCV valve, the sensor, and the oil trap are bad? No, I don't want to hear it. And I could keep resetting the fucking battery so it resets the computer and keep driving. But I'm just going to damage the fucking engine. So when they told me that, I was like, well, okay, guess we're going in the shop. $1,000 later, it's going to be fucking fixed. It's not what I wanted to hear. It's what I needed to hear. I took care of the fucking problem. You know? This is like entitlement, like I've never experienced before. And it's like, it's not even like I just answer questions here on YouTube or live stream. It's like YouTube live streams, DMs on Instagram, DMs on Facebook, emails, and angrysnowboarder.com in the comments section. I literally spend hours a day answering free advice, and I give a ton of it. And I try to make videos so that I can just reference it. But the entitlement of people, fucking next level. Next level. So yeah, this is the week I've been dealing with. There's other things too. I should read you the emails from the guy from curated.com. That's fucking, I think I made him cry. I'm not sure. I roasted him a new ass because curated really pissed me off a while ago. Like, if you ever seen the podcast segment Kevin and I did where we talked about that, and I tried out their service, and it was fucking atrocious. And then the owner actually reached out to me and spelled my fucking name wrong. Like, the email is Avran and he spelled my name wrong in the email. And I was like, how do I take you seriously? But, you know, and he wasn't the only one. I think this guy was like the 4th or 5th person to reach out to me from fucking curated.com, which, yeah, I got the idea of the personal shopper from them, but like they're limited to the brands that they carry. I'm limited to nothing. I'm like, oh, you want to buy this? Okay, I don't give a fuck. Oh, you're buying local? Let me help your local shop. Oh, you're buying online? Oh, click the affiliate. Oh, you're buying in Europe at a shop I don't even know online? Fuck it, I don't care. Let's make snowboarding healthier for everyone. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Ivan Drago, can't fix stupid mate. The dingo ate his baby. What do we got? Ooh, next on Super Chat gets a spin. Okay, Roman Golden, what are your thoughts on the ride tongue-tied versus K2's Boa Conda versus the Solomon straitjacket? So of those three, this is the order that I feel they lock down in from best to worst, or tightest, I should say. Not worst. They're all great technologies, but straitjacket's number one. That thing just fucking, I've never seen anything with that much heel hold. That's probably the gnarliest heel hold. Then I would put Boa Conda because you got it, just the way it wraps around, and it's got a steel cable. It's a tighter wrap. Then tongue-tied because it uses the slime tongue on a lot of their stuff, and just the way it is, it gives more give in there. So all three of them work, but each one works on a varying level. It's like if you're notorious for getting heel lift, your ankles slipping, straitjacket, Boa Conda, tongue-tied. Now, if you want a consistent flex and you're more of a park rider, but you get slop in your boot, tongue-tied, Boa Conda, straitjacket, opposite way in that. And it really comes down to how that boot fits your foot and how that technology works with the needs and the issues that you're actually having. But every single one of those is absolutely amazing. All right, Roman, let's give you a spin of the wheel. All right, Roman, you just won yourself a medium sticker pack. So you know the drill. Email me, info@angrysnowboarder.com with your address, and I'll get that in the mail for you. I got a bunch of stuff I actually got to do tonight and get those in the mail. So got that. Jay Rice, I saved the second super chat for later, but screw it. I want to hear the personal shopper story. Well, you're welcome. You heard it. You get a spin. Oh, that's going to bounce back. It is. All right. Next non-super chat question gets a spin. Okay, S2000 guys. So the algorithm dethrones the Mercury, huh? Yes. I bumped up the algorithm over the Mercury. The Mercury has sat at the top of the list for so long. It's time to give someone else another reign at the title. So they got that. So both great boards. Personally, out of that whole list, if I had to ride one, it'd be the Mercury, then the algorithm. But that's me. Like 3 years ago, the yes grades seemed to be the hottest board out. Seems to have fell off. What happened? They changed the grates around, so the side cut and the flex pattern with the camber profile rides completely different. It's not as good as it used to be. Like this generation of the grates isn't as good as the last generation, but the last generation was better than the previous generation. It's one of these things like the grates goes back and forth on good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. It seems like over the years, if you actually look over the last 10 years or so, like every time they've changed it, it starts to change out there. And it's funny because I get all these people that are like, you don't know what you're talking about. Have you ridden every generation of it? I pretty much have. It's my favorite board, and I've owned 3 snowboards. You don't know what you're talking about. I have 3 snowboards right there. I have 11 snowboards right there. I have 4 snowboards on the floor right there. I think I know a bit more than you because unlike you fucking your high school sweetheart and getting her pregnant and marrying her, I've gone out and done other things. Fucked other people. It's the same concept. I've ridden multiple snowboards. So that's kind of where I'm at with that, but you do get a spin of the wheel. Oop, oop. All right. And we'll take another question that gets a spin in the wheel. Ooh, here's a good one from Seraphile. Pros and cons of Party Platter versus Super Peg and recommended bindings for each, Burton or Union. So Party Platter, twin, camber, more freestyle focused. Super Peg, set back a little bit. Backseat camber on it, just a little bit in there. Different side cut, better for carving in my opinion. Can still ride freestyle with it, but it's going to be better in POW overall. Now, if you're going with Burton, everyone would say probably you want to go with the Malavita, but I have a problem with that wing on the bottom of it. So it'd be like Cartel or Genesis would be the two that I would probably go for either that. With Union, either go Atlas or Strata. So that's everything you got, and you get a spin of the wheel. All right, we're going to plug the personal shopper. So since it's November, Black Friday, Cyber Monday are coming up, you may be buying new snowboard gear. And if you are buying new snowboard gear, but you don't have a local shop to go to because of COVID restrictions, or you just live in the fucking boonies, I don't know, you can always hire me to answer your questions. $5 for a quick question, $10 for a more in-depth question, $15, I'll walk you through the whole process. And if you're a time vampire, $50. I'll walk you through the whole process. I'll be rude and discourteous to you. I'll even yell at you when you get analysis paralysis and tell you to shit or get off the pot. So there you go. You can buy that on angrysnowboarderstore.com. All right. Where were we? We got another super chat from Ivan Drago. Tell me I'm a pretty princess. It's what I want and I need to hear. You're a beautiful, beautiful, blonde, 6'9", steroid-filled, pretty, pretty princess. And Rocky has kicked your ass twice. And remember to subscribe if you're new here. Remember to subscribe. Okay, where were we? All right. Ooh, Seth B. Aspen, 200 pounds, size 9.5 boot, niche Maelstrom, and a 63 for 50% off. Do I buy it? Fuck yeah, buy it, buy it, buy it. Just buy it. That's a great board. That's a great price at 50% off, too. Fuck yeah, buy it. Okay, where were we? All right, so Christian Grzybowski, we're here for you. Forward us some of those emails. No. At least if I talk about them and you don't see them, you can't use it for incriminating evidence for the amount of times I tell people to die or drink bleach, or if they committed suicide, the world would be a better place. I'm a horrible person. I could never run for political office. All right, Christian, you won yourself a small sticker pack if you want to email me, info@angrysnowboarder.com, and I will get that in the mail to you. I haven't forgot about you guys from the last live stream, so your sticker packs and mystery prizes will be going out. All right, so let's see. Kevia Spilly, RIP Danzig Awareness Month. It is November, so hopefully you are all aware that it is 11 more months till Danzig, well, technically 12. 12 more months to Danzig Awareness Month. RIP Danzig Awareness Month. I'll just throw it in your mystery prize. All right. Okay, Derek T. Hey, Avran, if you had to choose between the Burton Cartel and the Union Strata to go with the Black Snowboard to Death, which one would you pick? The Cartel. It'll have a little bit more power underfoot, and it will just be able to drive it. I think there's too much lateral play in the Strata. You just don't get as much power out of it when you go into a carve. Bride Lit. Thoughts on the 2021 Ride Twin Pig? Meh. Meh. Not really a fan of the twin pig. It's like the other three pigs kind of make sense. I don't even like the mountain pig, but I know what it's for. The twin pig, every time I get on, I'm like, meh. Which I think I asked for a new one to ride. I can't remember. Ride's supposed to be sending me a bunch of shit. D-Pids, are there any all-mountain freestyle boards that already come with structure in the base, or does it have to be done at the shop? Most of them actually do, if they come out of a good factory. If they're really rushing production, and you notice this with Mervyn's, they don't stone grind them, they just belt grind them. But I know the Yes stuff does, the Jones stuff, the Nidecker stuff, Capita does, Ride does, K2 does, Telos does. Check something here. Rosinal does not. Wired does not. So it's kind of a hit or miss on that. But, I mean, stone grind's cheap, easy to do. Fuck, you can probably bribe them with the shop with a 30 rack of PBR. So, yeah. Sam Walsh, female, 130 pounds. Should I get the Solomon Assassin 150 centimeters and all mountain board? Maybe. I don't know. Personally, at 130 pounds, I'd look at the top 5 women's all mountain freestyle board list that I just dropped today for you ladies. So, which I was wrong in that video. I said there was 2.1% female viewership of Angry. We're up to 3%. So that means we probably have 3.4 females watching. Proud of you, 0.4 female. I'm proud of you. Although one of you is my mom. I know that for a fact. She's watching right now. Hi, Lynn. Okay. B-Man1818. Thoughts on the Solomon Dance Hall? No idea how to spell it. Theoretically, I should love the way that thing rides. It should be a cross between like a 6-stick and HPS, you know, the Hillside Project, and like a villain. It should be somewhere in that mix. And with that camber profile and everything, I should absolutely love it on paper. And everyone I've talked to seems to really like it. I like the concept that it can be a park board with a directional shape and it's unique and stuff. And I like those boards. It's on the same level as like a Nitro Dropout, which I love that board. So I'm really curious. I think that's going to do really well for him. Keelan Schlief, think I'm going to buy a Libtech e-jackknife. What are some good bindings that will work well and are not super expensive? Well, if you're really trying to save money, pick up some last year's stuff. I've been seeing like Rome DODs for sale for like 125, 130 bucks. That is a bomb-proof binding for that. That'd be solid. So pretty much anything that's last year, if you can find an old set of cartels, but even then they're only marked down like 20%. Otherwise, if you're looking at inline and you want a meat and potatoes binding, the K2 Indy, like you really can't go wrong with that. It's you know, it's a good binding overall for that. Let's see. If you're looking at Union, I'd probably just put a Force. Once again, another meat and potatoes binding. With Ride, you probably want to go with like an A or C6, or if you can pick up like a last year's Rodeo, which they should be blowing those out, or even an EX. Actually, a last year's EX would probably be selling for like 150 or less, and that would be really good for you as well. Or if you can find last year's Burton Mission because it was beefed up, that would match as well. So hopefully that answers that question. We got a few more super chats. We got for Kareem 2K, Biden for the win. We'll see. It ain't over till it's over. It's fucking scary out there right now. All right, Kareem, you just won yourself a medium sticker pack. So email me at info@angrysnowboarder.com, and I'll get that in the mail probably Monday because I'm lazy. Okay, Michael Pham, in the Pacific Northwest, own the Jones Mind Expander. Want a swallowtail like the archetype. Too much overlap? 100%. What's going to happen is you're going to decide you're going to buy, if you buy the archetype, what's going to happen is you're going to ride it and you're going to lean one way or the other. They're both amazingly great boards, like, but they're so fucking similar. There's no real reason to have both of them, unfortunately. And so what happens is, you know, so, you know, you're going to have to just kind of decide where you want to be with it. I mean, if I had to choose either of them, I mean, I own an archetype. I'm trying to get a 60 wide in it because I want to upgrade to something a little more girthy for POW. But, you know, if I had, I could get a mind expander if I wanted to. I'd be happy with either, in all honesty. Like, neither of them would. And I think that's the same issue that you'd run into. Rather than buy boards that overlap, maybe look for something where you got a shortcoming and you could use a different board, or save your money this year. Use it to go up to the mountains more if you can. Get out and shred more. Buy a new board next year. That's kind of the advice I got for you. Ooh, we did a full loop on that one. Michael, you won yourself a medium sticker pack, so you know the drill. Email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and we'll get that one in the mail for you. Let's see. Ugh. Someone just sent me a YouTube video of Nickelback. Thought we were friends. You're a horrible person. All right. Let's see. Jeremy Gillen, where did you see the DODs for 125? Let me check. See, I think that's what it was, at least. I can look that up. It might have been maybe 150, but I could have sworn I saw him. But I think the size run was really weird in that. But let me check who that was. I want to say it was like Buckman's or Gear Co-op or something. So let's see what we got here. Search. Let's see. Well, it's gone now. But Moose Jaw has them on sale for 30% off right now from last year, so they're $209. So you would save $120 on there. But yeah, let's see what we got. I know we got some more questions here. All right. All right, so we got super chat from Story3333. Thanks for keeping the Stoke high all year long. I didn't take a 3-month vacation and then decide to go travel across Europe and tell people to go ride over giant crevasse fields that were covered in powder. I made content for you guys. When the shit was deep and everyone's morale was low, I was there every day talking to my mannequin. Might have been mildly insane. Don't know what that was about. And live streaming for you. But I did it. Just remember that. Not new to this. I'm true to this. Which, it reminds me, I got to bring back the Snowboard stimulus pack prize packs. I got to go talk to the underground. Ooh, spin again. So, yeah, going to try to bring back the Snowboard stimulus prize packs and offer some gift cards to different snowboard shops if we can. So, unfortunately, you got the middle finger on that one. Ugh. Vanessa Tracy, my 2-year-old is semi-watching. Does that get us to 5? Why would you ever let a child look at me? Children should not be within 1,000 feet of me. I am a horrible, horrible role model, and yet parents keep trying to get me to be one to their children. The fucking worst. The worst. Like, why would you ever trust me with your child? I can barely take care of myself. I can't even take care of a dog. Also, I think there's a ghost in here. That thing just turned by itself. Oh, okay. Chico Dergooch, stoked for some late winter riding in Tahoe, staying at Heavenly, but I'm going to get out of South Lake to ride some other resorts. What are your top 3? Depends where you go, what you're trying to do, but, you know, I personally, the top 3 resorts I really want to ride, and everyone's going to think I'm fucking insane. Number 1 is Lee's Canyon in Las Vegas. I want to see what that is like so bad. 2, Arizona Snow Bowl. That is that might actually happen this year. And 3, I want to go back to Powderhorn outside Grand Junction. That is like the weirdest fucking resort because it's built into the side of a mesa. So it's like flat, resort, flat. So weird. They have an old single-seater chair that I swear to God, it doesn't move like this. It just goes like this, up, just straight up. So, yeah. Let's see. Ooh, this is a tough one. B-Man 1818. Could you get away with size 11 Burton photons on a 161 Captain Mercury? I believe the photon has the shrink tech, and as long as you are 21 inches wide or more in your stance and you have an angle that is at least 9 degrees, you should be able to with that boot, I think. Don't quote me on that. All right. Uh-oh. What do we got here? Oh, who's sending what here? The Bears. It's Dick Butkus. Dick Butkus, everybody. He's a linebacker. I always liked him as an actor. Oh, God. Let's see. J Sloth 4130. Thoughts on the revamped fixed bindings? Can't tell if they look better or less better. I have 2 pairs of the new ones coming. I'm not sure if I've got the Truce and I think a Magnum. So I think those are the 2 that I've got coming. I know that every year Jason refines them more and more, and they're getting better. But the problem is, like, every time I look at them, the base plates are just so wide. So it just creates such a big dead spot. So, yeah. All right. Corey Chan with a PSA. Lone Pine Gear Exchange has used Rome DODs between 120 and 50. I got a set of katanas from them, and Rome's support hooked it up for the missing footbeds. Yeah, Rome's warranty department is really good on getting parts for the bindings right now. It's pretty easy to actually get things. So, yeah, Lone Pine Gear Exchange, maybe check them out, give a little shop some business, get some used bindings. Like, unless the heel cups are bent, it's a binding, who cares? Almost all my bindings have been sampled from reps lately. Like, they're like, here you go. And I'm like, oh, cool. This thing's fucking cobbled together, and I love it. Alex Davis, what is the worst real snowboard brand to deal with? Right now, like the hardest one to deal with is Burton. That is such a pain in the dick and hoops and hurdles because it's just so bureaucratic. So to get through that sucks. Otherwise, like Elevated Surfcraft is a pile of shit. Like Aaron Leibowitz is just a pile of shit as a human. He's a fucking trust funder. And so everything, he tries to be all like, I'm surfy and I'm aloof. He's a typical like New York City transplant douche. That's all he is. I remember when Kevin and I were dealing with him, we talked to him and we were like, hey, we were at a demo and he was like, yeah, I'm going to leave some boards at this shop in Breck. If you want to grab them and then I'll get you a shipping label and we can ship them. I was like, yeah, cool. And he's like, I'll hit you up. And I was like, okay. So then he hits me up and he's like, hey, I left those boards down at this shop in Aspen. You can just go down there and pick them up, and then you got to ship them to me, and you're going to have to pay the shipping. And I was like, well, Aspen's 4 hours from where I live, so that's not going to happen, and I'm not going to pay the shipping. Well, you need to do this, and they're there if you want them. And I was like, yeah, they are. And that's where they're going to fucking stay. Because at the time I didn't have a car, and I wasn't going to drive 4 hours one way to go fucking pick up some boards. I was like, that was a waste of a day. I was like, fuck that. And so then a couple months later, I was putting out like different top 5 lists, and he started commenting. And he's like, how can this list be accurate? We're not on there. We're the best. We're this. And I was like, well, you might have been on there if you had done this, this, and this. And he just went off and went ballistic. And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. I brought volume shifted boards from Japan, and I brought this type of shape. Like, he basically claims that he invented the Japanese boards in Western culture, like the style of carve surfing. And I was like, well, you're full of shit. And two, you don't know how to design a snowboard to save your life, because the factory, GP87, the guy that designs for that factory has to fix everything when you come up with something and basically make it fucking rideable. So if anything, GP87 should be patted on the back for literally making your shit-ass idea work. So fuck that guy. He's a fucking kook. He's the fucking worst. Never Summer's pretty fucking awful because they've stabbed me in the back numerous times, and they cost me a bunch of money, and they lied to me, on top of the fact I think they're actually closet white supremacists, because at one point I don't even know if he's the marketing guy anymore, but he was going off on a tangent about SWS, the factory that makes Dubai, Nidecker, Yes, Arbor, basically racial epithets about the staff that works there because of this color of their skin. So fuck them. Just straight fuck them. I don't just fuck them. If their factory burned to the ground, I'd probably go down and piss on the ashes. So there's that. They fucking suck as well. So yeah. All right. Where were we? Okay. Sheldon Krieger. Which size niche story for me? Boot size 11, 190 pounds, and looking to ride it when conditions are sketchy and icy. If you're looking for like that all-mountain versatility at 190, go with the 59. I think that'll give you what you want. If you're looking to like carve, then bump up. I think it's a 62 is the next size. I don't think it's a 61. I think it's a 62. That would be where I go with that. So yeah. Oh, it's going to bounce back? All right. Next non-super chat question gets you a spin of the wheel. So let's see what we got here. Oh, where were we? All right, we'll take this one from Amy. All-time favorite snowboard spot in the world. I live in it. I literally live where I've always wanted to live and where I'm the most comfortable and the most happy. And I have had more good days in Summit County going, and I've got all the resorts. Like, I could go get a Vail pass. I'm just done with Vail. But Copper, A Basin, Loveland, Breck, Keystone, like, I'm centrally located to a state that just provides me with the terrain I want, the friends I want, and everything. Like, I can go do that. I can be at Steamboat in an hour and a half. I can be at Monarch in an hour and 45. I made it to Wolf Creek in 2.5 hours last week. They claimed it was going to take me 3 hours, 27 minutes. Made it in 2.5 hours. Pretty sure that redneck that got really pissed that I passed him and then tried to tailgate me while I did 90 wasn't happy. But whatever. But Colorado is like my place. It's not for everyone. And I know that. Like, there's a lot of people that come here and they move on and they go to great things, or they always reminisce about the year or so that they lived here. But for me, this is like life. I know what I'm getting. I know the consistency. I know the length of the season. I know the terrain. I've got set runs. I know how things form. I know where the wind blows. This is my happy spot. This is my favorite place. Like, when I go other places, I'm always stoked that I get to ride other places. Like, when I lived in the Northwest, it was awesome, but it never felt like home. When I lived in Tahoe, it was cool, but it never felt like home. When I go to Utah, I like going to Utah. I have fun, but it's not for me. It's too city living. Like, even Summit County's getting a little more blown out than I would like. But that's kind of where I'm at with things. So you do get a spin of the wheel, my dear. Ooh, Amy, you just won yourself a medium sticker pack. It's a good week to win sticker packs, too. I got a bunch of stuff coming in. That was solid. So, you know the drill. Email me, info@angrysnowboarder. Make sure you have your mailing address in it, and I will ship that out. So, and for all you Euro people that win and are always like, I'll pay the shipping, I pay like $1 in shipping on a regular envelope and $2. Like, it's fine. We're good. Don't worry about me. I got this. Let's see, where were we? Tim Anderson, 265 pounds, size 11, Positive side of 511. What would you suggest for a rad dad board? Very little park, more groomers, own a war pig. Good luck, guys from Canada. So, Tim, you know, Capita Black Snowboard to Death, obviously going to be my top choice this year. I really like that board. But a Jones Flagship would work for you. A Ride Berserker. If you want to go even stiffer, then you go to the Commissioner as well. K2 Manifest would be another one. The new Rosinal Revenant, if you want something a little more playful. But it sounds like you want something more all-mountain free ride. So maybe even like a Brian Iguchi Camber would work for you. I mean, especially if you're doing very little park. Plus, you got a War Pig. I think going on that stiffer side to find something to complement it. So let's go with top choice Capita Black Snowboard to Death. Number 2 would be the Jones Flagship. And number 3 would be the Arbor Iguchi Pro Camber. So there's 3 options for you. Ooh, you lost a turn. Oof. Oh, this is a good one from Patrick. Heard an interesting question on another live stream last week. What's your favorite piece of gear that you own? The guy who answered was a Snowcat guide and said heated socks. So one of my absolute favorites pieces of snow gear I have is a changing mat in the back of my car. And it essentially just looks like an orange high-vis vest, but it's a rectangle. And basically, you put it down on the snow doesn't get through, you can change out of your boots and stuff. That's like my favorite piece of equipment because I keep it in the back and I keep my boots on it and everything. It keeps the mud out of my car. It's like the most little fucking thing, but it's just always there. And I really absolutely fucking love that thing to death because it just minimizes the dirt that gets in the back of the car. And if I need to change like the parking lot, and I'm like stripping out of my boots and shit, and I'm going to be barefoot for a minute or something, I can just stand on it and I'm fine, and it does a decent job if I have it folded over. Because, the thing's fucking big. So when I fold it over, I still got a decent rectangle to stand on. And that thing is just such fucking money in the bank for me for just doing stuff like that. Otherwise, headphones. Like anything that I have really bad white noise from the head injuries, and that sound of snow when I don't have music is really agitating to me. So I always ride with music. So headphones are like super clutch to me. Like it just drones out. I keep it at just the right volume. It drones out that like whoosh sound because that's what I'm hearing right now. Like this year is really bad. And yeah, those are like my 2 big things that I really absolutely love. So, okay. Oh God, I'm going to butcher this name. Clisaru Gabriel wants a spin of the wheel. So there we go. We gonna bounce back? Nope. All right, we're gonna plug that personal shopper. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are coming. Do you have a local shop that sucks and they don't answer your questions? Hire me to be your local shop guy. Go to angrysnowboarderstore.com. All right, let's see. So we got one from Michael Kulig. Xavier Delarue, Victor Delarue, or Sammy LeBouc? Who is the better big mountain freer? It's Zav. No one can ride across ice like that man. He's not just a big mountain free rider. He's a big mountaineer free rider. Like the lines that he takes are so fucking next level. No one can just like compete with that. Personally, if I'm going to watch someone, I actually like watching Sammy more. I think he's got a better style. But in terms of best of the best, it's Zav. Victor's good, but he's still like very freestyle focused on things. So anyways, let's give you a spin of the wheel. All right, next question gets a spin of the wheel. answer that one later. Dylan Twang, are the Black Friday deals actually decent, or do they just blow the prices up and add a sale like most companies do, trying to decide if I should wait to buy a binding? So snowboard shops are limited to the MSRP that the companies dictate to them. They cannot raise their price per country. Like that's actually technically illegal, and they could lose their agreement with the companies. Because I was joking with my friend that owns the Underground here, because he was like, oh my God, he's trying to do new credit card processing, and he's like, there's all these fees. And I was like, just add all the prices and raise everything as a joke. He's like, I can't do that. Like, I'd lose my accounts. So you can't do it. Online tends to have better prices than in person. Like even local shops, they're trying to compete on their margins. But by and large, I think you're going to see like a 10 to 20% discount on inline stuff, and probably a 20 to 40 or more % discount on sale items as well. So like if something's already marked down like 40, 50%, you might see an additional 10%. I know a bunch of shops that are doing that. And I do think that you'll see that. So if it's a binding that's not high demand and you think you can wait, go for it. Like the thing that I'm seeing this year is more shops are selling through faster. It's the same thing that we saw this summer with like bikes, weights, paddle boards, stuff like that. People want to be outside. They're buying gear. They're just fucking buying gear. And it's causing a run on a lot of stuff. So if you see something and it's like not a really, like they don't have like 100 pieces of it, you might want to buy it, It's just one of those things. So that's the best advice I can give you for that, Dylan. Let's give you a spin of the wheel. Oh shit, buddy. Oh yeah. Well, Dylan, you just won yourself a jumbo sticker pack. So that is a good thing. Email me info@angrysnowboarder with your mailing address, and I'll get that in the mail. Which I actually had one person scam me on a fucking sticker pack, but the person that won it never claimed it. So, like one out of the couple hundred I've given away, it's pretty good. So yeah. Let's see. Okay. We got one from Kareem2K. Just found out YouTube takes 30% of the amount, greedy bitches. So this covers the 30% on the last super chat. Don't worry about the 30% that they take on the super chats. Like, yeah, okay, they take 30%, but if the option is nothing, or I get nothing, or they take 30%, I don't have a problem with it. Like I'm surviving, which also, I know a lot of people, like unemployment benefits are running out, mortgage payments, evictions, shit like that. If any of you guys that live in mountain towns that are watching this, or struggling college kids, and you're hurting for food or anything because it's getting to be the end of the year, shit's getting uncertain, COVID spiking and stuff, and you're worried about getting groceries, reach out to me. I will Instacart you some groceries. You might not like the fact that you actually have to learn how to cook, and you're going to learn really quick that you need to learn how to cook if you're going to make a delicious meal, but I will get you staple foods so that you can actually eat and stuff. So it's been months since we put this out, any of us. I just want people to know, I know people are getting uncertain. It's getting towards the holiday. Money's getting tight for some people. Different shit going on in the world. I just wanted to add something positive to it. So I know what it's like to not be able to eat. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to have to go to the food pantry and shit like that. I mean, I've been the poorest of poor snowboard bums, and I'm in a position where I can pay it back and pay it forward. So if anyone is just struggling, like let's say you just moved to a mountain town, the resort hasn't opened or anything like that, or you live in one, you lost your job, or you're back under COVID restrictions or anything, reach out to me. I'll Instacart you groceries, or I'll Amazon Prime you some groceries or something, get you set up with some food so at least you don't starve. So I just wanted to let everyone know that. It's just something I do. I haven't talked about it in months, but it's always there. Like, I know what that's like, and I wouldn't wish that on most people. I'd still wish it on some people, but not most people. So yeah, if you're worried about eating or anything like that, you're struggling, let me know. Don't take advantage of me, obviously, but I'll do what I can where I can. So yeah, let's give you a spin. All right, next question gets a spin. Come back to that question a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Well, I'll take the. No, wait. No, you just got that spin, so you're not getting that bonus spin. Let's see. Where were we? Really scrolling up. Okay. Andre Guguriman. Hey, Avran, 160-pound guy with size 12 boots. Need a twin board for buttering and trying smaller park features at first. Which one would you pick between the Ride Twin Pig and the Arbor Westmark, and why? The Arbor Westmark, I've owned 8 of them. That board is absolutely fucking phenomenal. The rocker especially, it makes it easy to learn how to butter. It's not hooky. It's a board that you can be precise and calculated with, but you can still be laid back on. You don't have to bring your A game to. It's just a board you get on and you realize, like, after 3 days of riding it, you're like, this is just how it's going to consistently ride. Like I said, I've owned 8 of them, so you can't go wrong with that. And personally, I just find the Twin Pig to be so fucking meh. So that's why. But yeah, so and you get a spin of the wheel there, Andre. Ooh, spin again. Oh, lose a turn. Caden Deschamps, in your opinion, are the Union Felcore bindings too stiff for the Battalion Party Wave? No, I don't. I don't think the Felcores are too stiff for the Party Wave. I think it works with it more than anything. Okay. Scrolling way up. Where were we? All right. I think we'll go back down here. Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, you're just getting in here, get your questions in the chat. I'm going to try to answer them for you. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. You can win a prize, win sticker packs. It's just something fun. Might be buying a Plinko board for the future, too. So that. Looking at adding some spice to the channel. So, yeah. Let's see, where were we? Okay, so we got a super chat from Seth B. Aspen. Mercury, Westmark, Maelstrom, T-Rice, early season rockboard, sushi. I own 2 pairs of Forces, DOD, and Trigger. What would you pair for each? Forces, rockboard. DOD would go Mercury, Westmark, sushi. Trigger, probably on the Maelstrom. That would be where I'd put it, or I'd swap that for the DOD. So, yeah. Ooh, lose a turn. Lose a turn. Let's see. Okay, Michael Kulik, for the grocery fund, support each other and the culture. I mean, you only support the grocery fund if people actually use it. No one's ever taken me up, but I put that offer out there because I know what it's like. And I know a bunch of my friends are struggling right now because we're having Rona infections ravaging Summit County. So I got to reach out to some people and see if I need to drop groceries off and shit like that. But I know during like the early phases of the pandemic, I was making sure all the little snowboard bum kids had food, were taken care of, filled out their paperwork properly to get their unemployment and shit, and they were good. And I was paying some people's rents and other shit, and I was loaning money to friends for various things and whatnot. And so it all comes back around. It's like I do whatever I can for snowboarding. So thank you for donating to Snowboarding Michael. Let's give you a spin. It's all about the culture and calling out poser fucks and kooks. So Remember, fire cures all, including kooks. Burn your kooks. Always burn your kooks. Let's see. Well, we got another one from P. Dids. You're like the Grinch in a good way. I'm very cantankerous. I'm very opinionated. I'm a misanthrope. I hate society. I hate people. And yet, for some reason, I still do good, even though I think I'm a giant pile of shit. I'll be the first to admit it. I am a shitty human. Like, fuck it. I don't even care. The amount of people that I tell on a daily basis to drink bleach, whatever. Which don't drink bleach. I hope you have enough common sense for that, but. Oh, well. All right. D-Pids, you want a small sticker pack. So, you know, just email me, info@angrysnowboarder, and we're going to try to get that to you. Oh, nice. Gene Graves, my goal this season is to ride with the Shred Ahead dudes out of Idaho. So if you do not follow Shred Ahead Snowboarding on YouTube, this is the greatest thing ever. It's a bunch of over 65-year-old older gentlemen that are technologically impaired, which is amazing, talking about snowboarding and sharing the Stoke, and it's infectious, and I love everything about them because it gives me hope that when I'm 80, I'll still be snowboarding like them. Snowboarding keeps you young. It definitely keeps Jim and Ted young. Swing on over to their channel. Check them out. Those guys are just great. I love what they're doing. They're just good dudes. So, Schmegma Salad, not a fan of the ankle straps on my now pilots. Is it possible to retrofit ankle straps from another brand, e.g. Malavita straps? Yeah. Oh, dude. You're literally playing around with a fucking screw into a lock nut. Like, you just got to make sure that it fits up in there and it's not wallowing out. You might have to play with some washers. You might have to get the Dremel out. You might have to take a razor knife and do it. Dude, I have fucking cobbled every binding in the world together out of different things. I got a set of rides over there with fucking mission straps on them that a friend left here. Like, I can make it work. You can make it work. Everyone should be DIYing, playing around with their shit, not, I'm being like, how do I tweak this? How do I do it? Like, I feel like that aspect of snowboarding is so gone. And it's so funny when I look at the boot fitting 101 videos and how many people are watching shit and how many people actually have comments on that. And they're like, wait, I can do that? And I was like, you can do anything you fucking set your mind to. You just got to look at it from a logical, analytical standpoint and you start playing around. It's like you never played with Legos as a kid or something. So, definitely go out, play with your straps, do what you got to do, get things going. Let's see. Nick Montez, should I bother with a hooded ninja suit when I already rock a baklava? You rocking baklava? How's it taste? Like, where do you keep it? Do you, keep it in the hood of the ninja suit? I sure you mean balaclava, but it's funny when he misspells it to baklava. I love that shit. Honestly, probably not. Most people I know that actually buy a hooded ninja suit end up cutting the hood off. Just how things are. So you probably don't need one. Okay. Kyle Good, differences between the Union Atlas and Felcours. The weight, the lateral flex is a little bit different in there. The straps fit different from the Felcour to the Atlas, and the high back in the Atlas actually has slightly more flex in it than the Felcour. So. Ooh, middle finger. Ouch. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, Clarissa Kleiman scored a 27. Burton Talent Scout, practically brand new for super cheap. Woo! Contemplating checking now bindings to slap on there. Any suggestions from the women's line? Yes, and I'm going to. Give me a minute here because I always butcher their names. So let's see. What are they? It's is it the Conda? Coda? Conda? What the fuck do they call it? I'm sorry. Like I said, I always butcher the names of these. So give me 1 second. I just need to look at the names. Then I know which ones to recommend. It's like the worst. I'm literally the fucking worst with this. So, God, the internet's running slow today. Neighbors must be looking at porn again or live streaming to their OnlyFans. Let's see. So where were we? It's Yeah. Okay. No, the one I was. You probably with the Talon Scout. You probably want the Vita, or the Brigada, but you don't want the Conda. And it's going to come down to what you want in the flex. But I think the Vita is the one that's going to match the Talent Scout better than the Brigada. The Conda would be overkill. The big thing you got to ask yourself is, are you prepared to have that play from toe to heel in the binding? Like, just remember, the binding actually has a pivot point. So when you go down to the toe, it pulls the heel up. And when you go down to the heel, it pulls the toe up. It does change the pressure distribution and the power into the edge. It takes a few laps to get used to. So just be aware of that. That's the one thing that I think you should be aware of. But otherwise, the Vita or the Brigada would be the way to go with those. All right. Okay, missing a couple questions here. Okay, Roman Golden. What do you think about the new Burton non-traditional 3D-based family tree? They look impossible to wax, maintain long-term. Do you think they're better than the battalion stuff? They're actually going to be easier to wax than the battalion stuff. So, like, the way that shaping is, it's not like angle where you're like scraping on the side, then you're scraping the middle, then you're scraping it. You can actually like get it in there. From what I've seen of it, stone grinding is going to be a bitch. I'm not even going to lie on that. Like, you're going to have to find a shop that either understands how to take the wheel out and move it. So, like, you either get both sides and leave the center, or put the center wheel in and take the sides out to get it to put structure in there. Like, that's going to be such a pain in the ass. I'm really intrigued with it. I've talked to a few friends that work at some of the shops that say they might have some for me to try. So I'm going to try to get on some, but it probably won't be till closer to Christmas. So, yeah, so there's that. Also, just so you guys know, in December on the 20th, from the 20th of December basically till probably January 5th, I'm going to take a vacation from the internet. I'll still be answering personal shopper questions, but I'm probably not going to be. I'll have videos scheduled, but I won't be doing premieres. I won't be doing live streams. I'm just going to take some fucking me time at the end of the year, get my head right. I might be going to New York to see the family. I might not. Like, it's going to be one of these things where I wake up and I like look out the window and I'm like, oh God, town's fucked. And just get in the car and drive straight there for 20 hours and go see my family for Christmas because my parents are getting fucking ancient. Goddamn dinosaurs. Been calling them dinosaurs for 38 years, and now they literally are dinosaurs. My dad walks around like a fucking T-Rex these days. It's like, what are you doing? And he's just over there just like, fucking dinosaur parents. So yeah, so just so you guys know, about December 20th, I'm just going to take like a slight hiatus. I'll have content kind of built up to post while I'm away, but don't expect questions to answer. Don't expect any live streams. I just want to take some me time. So yeah. Okay, where were we? Ramon Mendoza Nunez, Party Wave Plus or the 420 powder hull for deep powders? Oh, Party Wave Plus, baby. Party Wave Plus. I actually don't like the 420 powder hull. It climbs weird when you're trying to like go up an embankment in fresh pow, and it tracks weird. And then if you get in, they've changed it since the last time I rode it, but everyone I've talked to, it's like not much of a change. But when I rode on a really wet day, and so the POW was just sticking inside that hull, and it was just like you'd hit it and be like, ugh! And I was like, God, I just felt beat up after that day. So I'm a Party Wave Plus type of guy for sure. Chris Keeney, what are your opinions on the Burton Process Flying V? POS or goodbye? Fuck Flying V! It's the most worthless fucking camber profile. Burton literally just made a board that's like, burnt. Like, oh, I want to do a tail press. Burnt. I lean back. Board's bent at 90 fucking degrees. Like, that profile is, unless you are riding nothing but steep in deep powder. And even then, it doesn't even have the performance you want. It makes no fucking sense. Like, fuck Flying V. Fuck it all. Burn it with fire. Let it die. Don't ever resurrect it, and the world will be a better place. Go buy the process with regular camber or flat top or whatever the fuck they call it. Let's see. The fuck? Ugh. Ugh. Fucking Colorado trying to tell me to download a fucking app. Yeah, okay, let's do some contact tracing. I live above a fucking coffee shop and a bunch of other restaurants and shit. I'm just going to be flagged left and right. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Z Mauer, how long till the Denver people and Texans infect resorts with COVID and ruin everything for all? Oh, we're there. We actually are in an orange phase. We rolled back to only 25% openings of restaurants and stores and gyms and shit right now. We got 2 weeks to get that back under control. Shit's going to happen. You're going to see spikes. It's going to be peaks and valleys left and right. But right now, we're actually seeing it through our local population because, a bunch of high school kids tested positive. We're told they tested positive. Oh, let's throw a fucking party and spit in each other's mouths. And that has just ravaged the community. So that's where we're at right now. By and large, during the summer when the tourists were coming, like we would just yell at them to wear masks and not fuck off. And they would be like, we're never coming back. And we'd be like, good, we don't fucking need you. And we didn't. And things were good. We were doing fine. And then this last month, we fucked everything up. So, yeah. Okay. Horatio Nachito, concerned the /58 tree pow is too close to the pencil 64. Already have. I know you've not written it, but based on what you know, no, the / will have way more torsional flex than the pencil. Karuas are just stiffer in general, just because of the factory that they use. It's going to ride completely different. Plus the shaping, the / will actually ride more off that back foot than the pencil. The pencil, from what my understanding at least, is you can ride that more front foot forward, where the / like it really does benefit riding back foot, especially if you're doing tree pow. So I don't think you're overlapping. I think you're solid. RIP to Danzig Awareness Month. We're in November, which evidently, according to someone else that decided they had to live stream on the day I had scheduled, which I've scheduled for months, November is gear appreciation or gear buying or whatever fucking month. Fucking troglodyte. Okay, Heinrich Weiss, have you received my ride C10? I've received my ride C10, and the padding on the footbed isn't fixed properly on one side and bends up, but it's supposed to go away after some riding. Is that kind of normal? It can be. Without a photo and me looking at it, I can't really tell you. So why don't you email me, info@angrysnowboarder, with a photo of it, and just take it from the top, take it from the back of the binding, take it from the front, and take it from the side. Just give me like 4 photos of a good angle of it. I'll look at it, and I'll let you know if I think anything's off. I think that's probably the best way. Phil J. Hey, Avran, you're tough on flow bindings. Looking for a quick in and out setup while working on the mountain. Thanks, dude. I like flows. You just got to spend the time to dial them in. It takes a lot of time. But I would say just go look at like the NX2 or even the Fuse GT. Just something like that, Make sure you spend the time before you get to the mountain, dial it in, and make sure you practice going in and out. You'll be totally fine with that. They're really the best rear entry binding on the market. So, okay. Ooh, no fat chicks. Thoughts on the new Jed Anderson video? Oh, reality. Whew. Fucking fire, dude. Have you fucking fire between that and the Dust Box? Which, if you haven't seen the new Dust Box video, there's a link in the description. Go watch it. That is the fucking future of urban riding, from the way they shot it, the features they hit, just the kids they chose. Like, yeah, Jed's video, we got Fat Jed, and Fat Jed bounced down some stairs. It was fucking good. Like, yeah. But that and the Dust Box, which I wanted to talk about the Dust Box, because that video is super fucking solid as well. I actually need to rewatch that like another fucking time or 2 or 5 because it was so fucking good. It was like old first, second video of Videograss. It just felt that good. So that, and Jed's video, like, just, it hadn't seen much out of him since his like welcome to Adidas video or his welcome to Ride video, and then he dropped that. So yeah, that was fired. All right, spin the wheel for no fat chicks. Fire cures all. Keeps the fat chicks at bay too. Just remember that. You got to keep them at bay sometimes. Not Michael Bay though. Okay. Nathaniel Ellsworth, can I take the GNU anti-gravity in the park and feel confident sliding a rail, or bad choice? Do you know how to slide a rail? Do you ride the GNU anti-gravity? Do you want to ride the GNU anti-gravity on a rail? Did you answer yes to all these? There's your answer, bud. Go fucking do it. Okay. Jonathan Basilius, what's the deal with the new Burton Cartel versus the Cartel X? The Cartel X is just a stiffer, beefier version of it. They kind of trimmed their line down with like all their options and basically just merged stuff to existing bindings names. So like the Cartel's pretty much a workhorse binding. It's good for just about everyone. But if you're like a big Satchmo or you're like, I need a super fucking stiff binding, that's where the Cartel X comes into play. That's all it is. It's just a beefier version. So. All right. Jonathan, won yourself a small sticker pack there, bud. Email me, info@angrysnowboarder, and I will get that in the mail to you. So, don't expect them for probably a week, though. Maybe longer. I kind of slack on when I say I'm going to get them out. Jimmy McElroy, did the older 2012, 2013 Never Summer boards have the same hooky problem like the current Never Summer boards? They don't have the hooky problem. The side cut was different on those because that was like version 2, I think, of the RC Tech. It might have been version 3. But what they have is a flat spot out in the nose and the tail. And most people don't even fucking notice it because they're like so obtuse to even realize it. But this flat spot, it just feels weird when you're really charging with it. You start to notice it if you're charging and you're flat basing, or if you're pressing, you see it in there. But otherwise, that camber profile was actually better than what they have now. Like, Tim needs to stop just fucking adding higher amounts of camber and moving the insert pack and putting the side cut inside the feet. Like with the Vario it's like they could make it good. They just choose to be fucking stupid. Then again, they're not really engineers, and most of the people that work there don't even fucking snowboard anymore. They just ride dirt bikes and drive lifted trucks, brap, and drink Monster Energy and watch MMA. They're not snowboarders. They're people that snowboard that own a company. So, yeah, there you go. Okay. Well, since Jonathan Basilius says, I've got so many Angry Snowboarder stickers, I don't know what to do with them already. You know what, man? If you don't want them, you don't have to take them. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's no skin off my back. All right. Let's see. Anyways, we're up to 121 people. We've been kind of bouncing around. I know there's some new people in here. If you're just getting in here, you got questions, get them in the chat box. I'm going to try to answer them. Super Chats get a spin of the wheel. You can win prizes on there. Let's see what we got here. Dig around for some questions and scroll way up. Jeremy Gelling, smallest waist width for a 10.5 boot. Looking to buy Camrock freestyle board for cruising, buttering side hits. I mean, I personally have gotten away with a 24.5 with a size 10. Do I recommend it for everyone? Not really. I think like a 25 is about as small as you want to go. But then again, waist width really is fuck all because we don't mount our bindings right in the dead center of the fucking board. We actually mount them out where it's actually wider. So it's a whole ski thing. Like they mount their fucking boot with their binding right in the dead center. So that's why waist width matters to them. But for us overall, doesn't fucking matter. Also, got to give a shout out again for anyone just tuning in to Dean at the Splitboard Shop for getting me boards from West Snowboards, Cafell Snowboards, and Furberg Snowboards, and he's trying to get me amplids as well to test. If anyone's got splitboard questions or anything, reach out to the Splitboard Shop either on Instagram at the Splitboard Shop or check out their website, the Splitboard. Or I think it's splitboardshop.com or thesplitboardshop.com. If you're going to get a split board or you're going to cut a board for splitting, they do that as well. So if you're worried about cutting it, check it out. Dean's a good guy. He knows his shit. My other recommendation for anyone getting split board stuff, talk to Leanne or Andy at the Underground here in Breck. It's undergroundsnowboards.com. It's Underground Breck. They have Locals Appreciation Day coming up November 12th. They're taking 10% off everything in store that's current inline and an additional 10% off stuff that's sale, but space will be limited for people shopping in person. They are doing a layaway. You can always give them a call, check on their website. Tell them I sent you too. Tell them Angry sent you. So that's my local shop. I'm just trying to drum up business for them. So yeah, let's see what else we got here. I think we answered those questions. Let's see what we got down here. J-Raz, would an Arbor Cosa Nostra be a good Colorado trip? Oh my God, that thing is fucking phenomenal. I got to ride one at Beaver Creek. I think it was Beaver Creek. It was either Beaver Creek or Steamboat. But it was like a 12 to 18-inch day, and that thing, it does not fucking sink. That board is absolutely phenomenal, and you can just get way back on what little tail it has and really steer from the back foot, and it's super, super fucking solid. Like, you can't go wrong with that. So definitely a great board. Let's see. Kevia Spilly with the PSA, put your Angry Snowboarder stickers on public property to spread the word. I mean, I didn't tell you to. I just read it. But for anyone that wants to get in on the snowboard culture, the Snowboarding Culture is Not Dead stickers are back up in full on angrysnowboarderstore.com. Mystery envelopes as well. Also brought back the 5x5 Go Fast and Spray plastic bag sticker as well for you guys. So got that. Oh, and we got to spin again. Next question gets a spin, and this question comes from Amy. I wonder, have you ever been a snowboard instructor? If yes, story time. No, because I actually like to go snowboarding. I don't like riding like a fucking YMCA robot, having to pass a whole bunch of fucking certifications and have to ride and talk about, well, you got to open your hips and bend at the waist and stick your thumb in your ass when you go in the air and shit. Like, my favorite was years ago at Breckenridge. They had a mini pipe on peak 8 off the side of the beginner area. But it was actually cut with a pipe dragon, so it was a perfect transition. I love that pipe. I miss that pipe so much. Favorite thing to go hit. So, one day I was busy at Breck, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go hike the pipe for an hour or two. So I roll up and hike up, and the instructors are there, and they're fucking doing a pipe clinic. I'm like, whatever, okay. They're off thumbjacking their queef holds and shit. I don't give a fuck. Being a bunch of douche kittens. And so I'm like dropping in on my toes. Well, yeah, technically, I guess it's more my heel side wall to go into my toe side. So I'm dropping it on the right side. And, I go down, do the first hit, go like 2 feet, hit it again, go 2 feet, hit the final hit, air to fakie, maybe go 3 feet out. Just a warm-up run, come up. And I hear the fucking assholes talking. They're like, did you see how he did that? That was all completely wrong. You need to do it this way. This is the only way you can ride pipe. And if you're going to teach people how to be an instructor, you have to do it this way. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. So I sit there, take my dear sweet time strapping in and watch. 0 made it to the fucking lip. So whatever, they go down and they're hiking back up. So I'm like, fuck it, riding an old Ride Concept UL. So for anyone that knows that board, it's like carbon array 9 in that fucking thing, and it had like this much camber. That board fucking popped. I go in with all my speed on that first toe side wall hit, and I just pop and just fucking grab and tweak it and look down between my feet right at the asshole that said that. And I was like, guess I don't know how to ride a fucking half pipe, do I? And just stomped that fucking landing, popped up on the next wall, got out, unstrapped, and just walked right to the top so we'd be there at the same time. And he's like, and I was like, yeah, you're fucking tripping over your fucking shit because you don't know how to fucking ride a half pipe. The way you're telling people how to do it, they won't keep their speed in the flat bottom. So you're fucking putting them flat base in the flat, and then you want them on edge on the wall. I was like, it's the opposite. You want to be on edge in the flat base and flat based on the wall. And this is the issue. I always run into this, and they're like, you have to do it this way. And I was like, I don't have to do shit anyway. I can do it any way I fucking want. I don't care. I just do what I want. It's fucking snowboarding. You're over here like doing fucking YMCA arm exercises. And the worst is like those instructors that think they actually know something about gear. When I was working in shops, they would always come in and just try to, first they're condescending pricks. So they'd come in and try to condescend to me and be like, well, you need to fit me for this, but I'm going to buy this on a pro deal. I work for the company. And I was like, so you work for so-and-so? No. And I was like, you work for so-and-so? No. And I was like, so what do you do? And they're like, well, I convince people to buy the product, and the more that I sell, then I only have to pay maybe 50%. And I was like, so you don't even get free product. You're just a fucking asshole. And you want me to spend an hour fitting you for this boot, but you know more about it than me, so you claim, but you don't know how it's supposed to fit. And you're trying to actually buy it too big. And I'm just like, I'm fucking over you. Like, instructors are like, I'm not saying there aren't bad, there are good instructors out there. There definitely are. But there are so many bad, horrible piece of shit instructors out there that I want them to just die. I don't want to deal with them. Like, they're just the worst. And they always come up to me and they just think because we ride snowboards, we're friends. And I was like, just because we ride snowboards does not mean we are equals. Like, I don't give a shit about what you're doing. Like, you're a fucking robot as far as I'm concerned, you know? Like, I can spot you a mile away. Me? I'm having fun and not giving a fuck. Like, I like to ride. I don't want to work for a mountain. They fucking own you. It's slave labor at that point. Powder day, you're going to blow a lesson off to go right out. Oh, no, you're scraping kids up off the kid castle floor that pissed themselves. So, you know, fuck that. But, Amy, you get a spin of the wheel. Shout out to Olive with the ski school sucks comment. We're going to plug the personal shopper. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are coming. Do you need advice? I can give it to you. Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder Store, click products, and at the bottom right, you will actually see a personal shopper. I'll answer all your fucking gear questions. Tommy Heckme, Jimmy Buckhouse did a video with L Stacker, RO, rolling on the floor. Oh my God. Oh my God. That has to be like, I mean, that's like the Down syndrome. And I'm not picking on people with Down syndrome, but it's like a guy with, L Stacker has to be on the spectrum or mildly retarded or something with a guy that is just retarded. Like, oh my God, this is a fucking thing. I kind of want to watch this, but I know I'm going to cringe. It's the fucking worst. Oh my God. Oh, it's the fucking worst. Ugh. Oh man. Ugh. Z Mauer, I ride a Burton 7.5 boot. Yeah, I did foot bondage growing up in wrestling. You sure you're not like one of those foot cam models that ties your feet up and then dudes pay you money on the OnlyFans to diddle to your feet being all tied up and turning purple? I mean, I'm just saying, it's a viable way to make money. My friend Larry does it. What waist width is too much? My skeleton key has a 25 waist, almost feels like the max. I mean, 7.5, I'd say 25, 25.5. I mean, when you hit 26, you're losing. You've got just more edge than you do ability to leverage it over right there. So, okay. All right. Well, anyway, it seems to be slowing down with questions. So if you got questions, get them over there. I'm going to try to answer them. And we can take a few more of that. Also, down in the links in the description of this video, there is a link to Michael Bassich's GoFundMe. His Area 241 workshop burned to the ground this week. And he lost a lot of tools, history of snowboarding, everything. Mike Bassich has been in snowboarding for, God, going into 5 decades now. And he lost his camera rigs, like custom stuff that he built for a lot of videos and photos that he shot before GoPros were a thing and whatnot. So his neighbor's trying to launch a GoFundMe to help him lose it because with California having all the wildfires, they cut his fire insurance, and a faulty electrical started his building on fire, and he lost pretty much everything he had in there. So if you guys want to donate to the snowboarding culture, it's down there. Check it out. That's about how I'm going to plug that. And it's sad, but I know Mike will land on his feet. He always does. He's a good dude. Met him multiple times. One of my favorite times was he fell asleep because he was so tired at Snowboard on the Block. And the way he fell asleep, we just kept putting things on top of him. And eventually we just covered him with all this flow gear and other stuff. I think we had like 5 snowboards on top of him at one point. And then we startled him and like shit got knocked off and stuff. But Mike's a good dude. So, yeah. So, anyways. I love this statement, though, from Clarissa Kleiman. As an instructor, I can confirm. They don't even deny it. Thank you, Clarissa, for at least listening to the culture of snowboarding. I hope you don't ride like a robot. Please don't ride like a robot. It makes me sad. So, yeah. Let's see. Ooh, Patrick McGrath. What is the most innovative, ambitious board design this year, in your opinion? The K2 Alchemist. That thing is a spaceship. The amount of design technology, build technology put into that board, and I haven't ridden it, just looking at it, holding it, it's a fucking spaceship. Like, that is, it reminds me of when Burton first came out with like the T6 and the Vapor and shit, and everyone's like, this is light years ahead with what they're doing. Same concept, like how they're doing that at K2 and whatnot is absolutely amazing. So I look forward to finally being able to get on that. Yeah, so Michael Kulik, Avran, want to get rid of my 51 slush slasher, just too soft. Any recommendations for a replacement at 6'2", 210 pounds size, 11.5 K2? Yeah, Cool Bean. Go to the Cool Bean. You're going to notice it's stiffer across the board, and it'll have less torsional flex than your slush slasher. The side cut radius is different on there. It carves completely different. That would be my go-to, or a K2 Simple Pleasures. Like, those two would be the ones that I would actually look at. So, yeah. Okay. E60, Battalion 3BT, cheating at snowboarding or no? I only took up riding a couple seasons ago, age 34, and don't want to blow my knees out. Catch free is a real thing. I mean, it doesn't necessarily make you catch free. It moves where the catch point is closer to you underfoot. You steer it more underfoot, actually, because you lose that drive out of the contact point. It does work, but you sacrifice a little bit of stuff depending on which 3BT the board has, which model. Some are better than others. Some I get on and I'm like, this is fucking shit. And other ones I'm like, fuck yeah, this thing is fucking crushing it. So, you got to kind of ask yourself like where you want to be with that. Let's see. Okay, Jason Overmeyer, what are your thoughts on rear entry bindings for all mountain riding? Going on a Captain Mercury. Thank you for your personal shopper. So John used the personal shopper service, and we got him dialed in on what board he needed to be. I don't have a problem with the rear entry bindings, but they're not all the same. So the K2 Cinch series, fucking straight garbage. Just it's a bear trap. You lose lateral play because of the way the triangle sits. It's not good. The SP, like the Fast Tech stuff, I'm supposed to get some to try. The concepts there's a little more adjustability with it. I think they're not too bad when I look at it, but I, once again, haven't ridden them. Flows, the problem with flow is you have to spend the time to dial them in. And even if you dial them in, sometimes with certain boots, they just don't work the way you want them to. The other thing with it is that when you do dial them in, you get everything in there, it's a different way of strapping in. You got to reach down. You're pulling the high back down. You know, when you're getting on the chairlift, you have a high back sometimes down. When you're trying to skate, you're kicking it and stuff. You gotta kind of change how you do everything. But overall, I think they're solid. So yeah, let's see. Nick Montez. Thoughts on DC as a boot company, the Travis Rice in particular. So the Travis Rice is one of the stiffest boots, one of the burliest ones. If it fits your foot, great. And you want something that's stiff, awesome. DC knows how to make a boot. When they fired their shitty-ass boot engineer and the guy went to Adidas, I laughed. And the best quote from the DC guys were, we finally got rid of that guy and Adidas got him. And their boots got immensely better. And I think they, once again, best boot's the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. But do they make a quality product? Yes. So there you go. All right. William Avery, my A-frame came with an incredibly smooth base. Should I ride it a few times then decide on adding some structure to it? Any shop you want to recommend in Denver for it? I don't go to Denver. That place is fucking the worst. I bought a Loveland season pass, and that's too close to Denver for me this year. It's too close. I have to go through the tunnel. So I don't really know who does what tune work down there. I don't even fuck with it. But do you need structure? Yeah, I would structure it for sure. I definitely would. So, yeah. Okay, Kareem 2K, third time's the charm. How different is the Rome Mod Rocker from the Gangplank? It's more lively. It's stiffer. It's got less torsional flex to it. It's got a different side cut that's more aggressive for really railing carves. Basically, it's if you like the Gangplank, but you're like, oh, it doesn't carve as well. It's not as snappy as I would like. It's not as stable. That's where the Mod Rocker, or as they're calling it, the Party Mod, would come into play, which I got to try to get one of those. So, all right. Let's see what else we got here. Andre Gigurman. Having known to 8 Westmarks, how does the board perform in powder? Got pretty low expectations, but curious. I had the rocker. And as long as you know how to ride a rocker twin in POW, it was absolutely phenomenal. That thing just floats. You could lean back, and that thing would just funnel the snow out, and you just end up doing POW butters for days. That board was actually the reason behind the Marhar Lumberjack, like how the mid-wide, the 54 mid-wide rode for me, and riding a bunch of volume shifted when I worked with Marhar to make the Lumberjack. That was one of the boards that was a big influence on it, and part of that was because Marhar had that attack arc or dual arc side cut, which gives you contact underfoot, which I didn't want to lose that, and so the Westmark in that. So by happenstance, basically the Westmark is what helped me to work with Marhar to create the Lumberjack. It is not a shitty board in POW by any means. It's just a twin. It's not the stiffest. I mean, you hit something that's you hit like an ice boulder or frozen ass mogul that you didn't see, that board's going to buck you at times. You just got to be prepared for it. But yeah. Kevius Billy, I can't find a boot that fits my knees. Have you not gone to the Dominatrix store with the knee highs? Because you can get a knee high, then you can get a thigh high. You could get a full GIMP suit if you want to. I mean, I know that's how you roll. I've seen the messages you send, Kevin. Sinner. Spin again. That's what you get. Middle finger. So, okay. Phil J, would you put a Burton Genesis, a Now Pilot, or K2 Lean AT, or anything else on a dance hall? Thanks. I wouldn't put the Genesis. I don't think that's the right binding for it. I think if you can find a clutch or last year's Burton Mission, the beefier one, that's the binding that I would put on there personally. The Pilot would work, but personally, I would probably go with the Now Times Yes instead. That lower high back would give it like more of that surf feel to it. Otherwise, the top one that I would pick would be that K2 Lean AT because you can pull the heel block, you got the pods, you can play around with it, make it surfy or make it more stable in there. The only other binding that maybe I'd consider putting on that would be the Union Strata, or if you did want to go Solomon and something with like the shadow fit, so you got that play in the heel, maybe, what is it? It's, no, the Quantum's the stiffest. It's the next one down, and I can't, is it District? Hologram? It's the one below the, maybe it's the, no, the Alibi has a solid heel cup. But the one below the Quantum that has shadow fit, if you want that loose heel fit, that might be it. So let's see. Okay, Michael Pham, own the Kazoo 154 and a 53 Maelstrom. Keep both, sell one. One on an all-mountain free ride board for going fast and being stable. The Kazoo is more stable than the Maelstrom. Just with the camber profile, the way the flex is on that, that's going to be the stiffer board. The Maelstrom, on the other hand, is going to be way better in POW with the taper on that. It's going to be better on edge because you do have traction bumps, and that long up kick in the nose and how abrupt it is, it will funnel POW out better. So you got to ask yourself, are you just riding groomers and going as fast as you can? Out of the two, I'd go with the Kazoo. But if you're going to be like, I'm going to be doing more POW, I'm going to be doing this, I'd go with the Maelstrom and just suck up the fact that it's a slightly softer board than the Kazoo. Then just bend your knees a little bit more or get a stiffer binding. Or something like a Ride A8 or maybe even an A10, something that's just going to have a stiffer base plate on it. All right, next on Super Chat gets a spin. Okay, this is an easy one. Veg ball salad. Is there a difference between the Nidecker Merc and the Flow Merc? No, but yes. So the Nidecker Merc has a different camber profile than the older Flow Merc. They changed the camber profile in it. It's still essentially the exact same board. So side cut, flex, everything else is the same. It's the camber profile that's different, which personally the Nidecker Merc has more snap in it. It is a better ride than the Flow Merc was. It's not as loose. It's just a little more precise. So, but it's essentially the same board. So let's give you a spin. Plug the personal shopper. All right. Going to buy snowboard gear? Not getting the advice you want at your snowboard shop? Go to Angry Snowboarder Store and hire me to be your personal shopper. I'll help you pick out whatever you need, whether you're buying locally or buying online. And if you're buying online and you want a deal, I'll check all the backlinks on all the stores and try to find you the best deal for what you're looking for. No guarantees that they'll have it in stock, but I can do that for you. Ooh. Okay, Adam Hendrickson, what are your thoughts on pairing the Jones Apollos with the S Decade? I've been riding the Now Pilots on it, but they're on the squishy side. Have you changed the bushings out on your Pilots? Because if you just have the soft or the medium ones, that could be an issue. If you go to the hard bushing, that might change some of that squishiness. Otherwise, for a stiffer binding, you're in the right direction upgrading to the Apollo. It'll work totally fine. Okay, Phil Wall, when you rode the Capita Simulator, what size did you get? I'm a size 10 boot. I believe you said you are too. Did you notice any toe drag when laying it over on an aggressive toe side carve? I rode the 54. I ride a 21-inch stance. with 15 negative 12 on it. Did I boot out? No. Could I have booted out? If I really wanted to, I could have. It could have happened. But overall, I didn't. It really comes down. If you're like a 32 in a size 10, you're probably going to have issues. Like a deluxe, yeah. You're in a Burton size 10, a K2, a Ride, Solomon, probably going to be fine. Vans, that's a little iffy. So shout out to the man, Ian the Welshman, letting us know he is alive and doing well over there in the United Kingdom. So, all right. Okay. Jack Verliger. Hey, man, if you had to choose a great board for the season, what should I get? I'm looking for a great POW board, but I also need to be able to handle some ice. LibTech Orca or the E-Jack knife. The Orca will be better in POW, and it still has the magnet traction, and it'll grip. E-Jack, you're going to get a little bit more of a camber profile in there. It'll work. I mean, honestly, you might like the LibTech Terrain Wrecker. That might be like the middle ground for you. Or maybe even the Double Dip or a Banana Magic. I think that's what they're calling it, or the Magic BM or whatever the fuck they changed the name to. But that might be it. SB ESPN, have you ridden the Jones Stratus yet? No. Need to email the rep about getting one. But I got so many boards sitting here right now, and I'm trying to ride everything. So see what we can do with that. Let's see. Okay, Patrick McGrath bought a Burton one-hitter last season without demoing it. Haven't gotten out on it yet and wondering what you've heard about it. I'm a bigger dude and the specs seem pretty appealing. It's stiffer than you think it'll be, and it rails turns like no other. So, if you're looking to rail turns, still get float, get in the trees, it should be what you're looking for. If you're kind of expecting it to be closer to like a custom or a process, not going to happen. So, okay. Jordan, thoughts on the 32 Focus Boa? Picked them up last weekend because they fit like a glove and seemed as stiff as I was aiming for. Hey, if that boot fits your foot and fits your needs, you're good. The only thing I would worry about, and I don't know if they fixed this. You need to check it at the instep where the cable crosses. I don't think they have an eyelet there, like a cross eyelet. They might have fixed it. In previous years, they haven't. I just haven't looked at one in a while. But when you tighten it right where the crossbow is, it cuts into the tongue. It creates a weird crease, which creates a weird flex point, and it actually breaks the boot down. The other thing with a 32 boot is they break in super fast. So right now, when you say like that was as stiff as you were looking for, just be prepared. In a few days, they're going to be noticeably softer. So that's it. Okay. Mike Pister, is the Capita Black Snowboard to Death more versatile than the Jones Mountain Twin or Ultra Mountain Twin? Looking for an all-mountain free ride board. Also want to be able to ride switch. Any other recommendations? It's definitely more versatile than the Ultra Mountain Twin. Personally, I think it's more versatile than the regular mountain. Well, it kind of depends. Like, it's definitely more versatile than the Ultra Mountain Twin. The Ultra Mountain Twin's stiffer. The big thing is they tweaked the Mountain Twin this year. And so it's torsionally softer, and it's like hit or miss with people right now. From what I'm seeing, they're like, I love it or I hate it. I haven't been on it. I assume they didn't really tweak it too much. Plus, they added that 3D shaping to it. I would say, if anything, if you're really looking to ride more switch, you probably want to go with the Jones Mountain Twin more than the Capita Black Snowboard of Death. So. Team Torque, how do you choose boot stiffness? You put the boot on, you tighten it up, you make sure your heel's locked in, you make sure that it fits perfect, you leave your foot flat, you bend at the ankle and the knee so that it comes out over the toe, you push into it, you pop back. You push into it, you pop back into an upright position, then you keep your foot flat. You might have to have the boot fitter hold you, and you roll in your ankle side to side, and you see if that's got the lateral flex that you want. By and large, you don't want it to fit like a fucking sneaker. You want that thing to be snug and fit. So, yeah. All right. So we're here. It's been over 2 hours. Looks like there might be a few new ones. I'm going to take a few more questions, and then we're going to dip out of here for the night. But if you haven't, I've got links down below in the description. Check out the Dust Box video. If you like street riding, that video is fucking fire. That is probably one of the best videos I've seen in a long-ass time. So I was really blown away with that. So definitely check that out. Going to scroll around, see if I can take a few more questions. Let's see. Take another one from Michael Pister. Is there a universal standard that companies use to measure board flex that all companies follow, or does it vary between companies? Oh, there's no universal. It's like they're fucking making it up, man. It's like they have a rough idea of how things are, but a board made in North America that uses more epoxy in it and more fiberglass and has a wet layup versus something from Austria with pre-preg fiberglass, less fiberglass in it, and kiln drying core, they're going to flex completely different. You're on two opposite ends of the spectrum with everything there. So you want to make sure, like, you know, that's why I don't give numbers. I'm not like, it's a 7, it's a 10. I'm like, it's a medium flex, it's below medium flex, it's above middle of the road, it's super stiff, it's mildly stiff, there's a lot of torsional flex, there's no torsional flex, it's a rigid-ass plank. That's why I try to describe it that way. It makes it easier for you guys to kind of comprehend what I'm saying. So, yeah. We got one from Sam Walsh. What's the female equivalent to the Captain Mercury? That would be the Paradise. It's loosely that. It's actually based off the Outer Space Living, which is basically a narrower Mercury. It's the little brother to the Mercury. So by basing it off the Paradise off the Outer Space Living, it fits that smaller footprint that women have. So, and the Outer Space Living is a super fun board, so you can't really go wrong with that. Let's see. Okay. Very good. Alex Davis, as a teenager from Denver, when it comes to coppers crowding, what's the most environmentally conscious way to kill myself to lower crowds? Coppers crowded? I don't go on Saturdays, so I've encountered one crowd there in the last 3 years. So Coppers crowded? I don't know these things. Well, if you're going to environmentally consciously kill yourself, I think you want to walk off a cliff where there's nothing below you, hard rocks, but you want to make sure that there's coyotes and other wildlife that will peck you clean and do everything, but it needs to sit in the sun as well, so it will bleach the bones. So you want to make sure that, but you want to make sure that there's no water source as well, because you don't want to contaminate a water source. So it's a lot of like real preparation looking into it, but you know, that's about it. Okay. Clarissa Kleiman, never visit China Peak in California. No, I've driven past it once, I think. So, all right. Okay, Jay Garrison 07. Can't wait to see your review of the Rider's Choice C3. So far, I've seen really good things. If the resorts will fucking open, I can get one from my rep and I can review it. And Loveland came out today and said, due to temperatures and stuff, they couldn't make snow, and they literally have to make like 400 feet of snow, and the run is done, and then they'll be open. So. Yeah, let's see. Okay, what else we got here? Jordan, any tips for getting the most out of C2? Love my Orco, but still not used to rocker, having always had camber boards. Yeah, stop trying to steer it way out at the tips. Ride it like you're riding a skateboard with loose trucks. You're going to steer it right underfoot, and be prepared to counter twist the board. So, you know, you just get used to doing those twisting motions. Steer it more from your ankles right outside the foot. Like, instead of trying to drive it and push it way in off the tip and the tail. So, yeah. Burke, what bindings do you recommend for the party platter? K2 lineup or the K2 Lean 8C, Union Strata or the Contact Pro. I would look at the new Rome Vice, this year's one, because last year's was kind of garbage. And those would be where I would look at things from there. Anyways, guys, I think I pretty much nailed everyone's questions over the last 2 hours, so we're going to call it a day. So Remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing anything. Remember, it's top 5 months. Trying to get all the top 5 boards binding stuff out there for you guys. Hopefully get it out, and you guys, it'll help make your decisions easier this month as we get ready for the season to ramp up. Shout out to Europe. Stay strong over there. Remember to wear your masks, socially distance, wash your hands, stop spitting in each other's mouths. Don't be a queef hole. Be a good human, I guess. If anyone's struggling to get food because Rona or whatnot, reach out to me. I'll try to Instacart you some groceries, whatnot. You're not going to like the fact you're going to have to cook from scratch, but hey, still cheaper than Blue Apron. Let's do that. If you really want to support us and just see us grow out what we're doing over here, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. We use the Patreon platform to utilize that, but the more that grows, the more projects we can actually do for things. Look for more board reviews starting in the next week or two. We're going to be riding a bunch more things. And as always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll continue to be your host, Avran LeFeber. I'm not changing my name anytime soon. And I'll see you guys in another video.